Are you seriously asking me to introduce you to my colleagues? You're a cleaner, Emma. Do you understand how embarrassing that would be for me? Emma Rodriguez stood frozen in the doorway of Marcus Chen's luxury apartment, her cleaning supplies still in hand. The man she'd been secretly dating for 2 months, the man she thought was falling in love with the real her, had just revealed exactly what he thought she was worth. Nothing. I have a reputation to maintain, Marcus continued, not even looking at her as he adjusted his $3,000 watch. My friends are doctors, lawyers, investment bankers. What am I supposed to say? Hey everyone, meet my girlfriend. She scrubs toilets for a living. Emma's hands were shaking, but not from hurt, from pure white-hot rage, because Marcus Chen had no idea he was talking to a woman worth $1 million, and she was about to show him exactly what he'd just thrown away. Emma Rodriguez had everything money could buy. At 27, she'd inherited her father's tech empire worth $200 million, penthouse in Pacific Heights, Ferrari in the garage, designer everything. But she didn't have the one thing she desperately wanted, someone who loved her for who she was, not what she could buy them. 3 relationships had ended the same way. Men who became different people the moment they learned about her wealth. Suddenly, they were planning her future, spending her money, treating her like a prize they'd won rather than a person they'd chosen. I'm tired of being a walking dollar sign, Emma told her best friend Sophia over lunch at their usual spot, a 200 per person restaurant in Nob Hill. So what are you going to do about it? Sophia asked. I'm going to disappear. Emma's plan was radical but simple. She would become someone completely ordinary, someone no gold digger would ever look twice at. She would become a house cleaner. You've lost your mind, Sophia said when Emma explained her scheme. You want to scrub strangers' toilets to find love. I want to find someone who can love me when they think I have nothing. If they can do that, then you'll know it's real, Sophia finished. Emma spent weeks perfecting her new identity, rented a modest studio apartment in the Mission District, bought a used Honda Civic, created a fake work history and references through a friend who owned a cleaning service. Most importantly, she learned how to actually clean, because if she was going to do this, she was going to do it right. The hardest part wasn't the physical work. It was watching how differently people treated her when they thought she was just the help. Marcus Chen was everything Emma had been programmed to find attractive. Successful tech executive, Stanford MBA, 6-figure salary, perfectly curated lifestyle. His Soma loft was featured in Architectural Digest. He was also exactly the type of man who would never give a house cleaner a second glance. Perfect. You're the new girl from Premium Clean Services, Marcus asked when Emma arrived for her first appointment, clipboard in hand. Yes, sir, Emma Rodriguez. I'll be taking care of your place every Tuesday and Friday. Marcus barely looked at her as he rattled off his requirements. No touching his work papers. Don't move anything on his desk. Be finished by 3 p.m. because he had conference calls. Emma was invisible to him, just another service provider in his perfectly organized life. For the first month, their interactions were purely transactional. Marcus would leave cash on the counter with maybe a thanks scribbled on a post-it note. He treated her exactly like what he thought she was, hired help. But Emma was watching, learning, falling for the man she saw when he thought no one was looking. The first real conversation happened on a Tuesday in October. Emma was cleaning Marcus's bathroom when she heard him on a work call in the next room. His voice was frustrated, exhausted. I understand the client is upset, but we delivered exactly what was promised. No, I'm not making excuses. Fine, I'll have the revised proposal to you by tomorrow morning. When the call ended, Emma heard something that made her heart break, the sound of a grown man fighting back tears. She found him sitting on his couch, head in his hands. Are you okay? She asked quietly. Marcus looked up, surprised. He'd forgotten she was there. I'm fine. Just work stuff. You don't sound fine. Something in her voice made him actually look at her, really look at her, for the first time in 4 weeks. It's just, I've been working on this project for 8 months, killing myself to make it perfect, and the client just, They change their mind about everything, want to start over. Emma sat down on the edge of the coffee table, her cleaning gloves still on. That sounds incredibly frustrating. You must feel like all your hard work was for nothing. Marcus stared at her. Yeah, that's exactly how I feel. But it wasn't for nothing, was it? You learned things, grew, proved to yourself you could handle something that challenging. I never thought about it that way. My dad used to say that the work we do changes us, even when it doesn't change the world. The person who started that project 8 months ago isn't the same person sitting here today. Marcus was quiet for a long moment. Your dad sounds like a smart man. He was. Emma's voice caught slightly. He passed away 2 years ago. I'm sorry. Thank you. They sat in comfortable silence for a moment. Then Marcus did something that surprised them both. Would you like some coffee? I was about to make some anyway. Emma smiled. I'd love that. The secret romance begins. That coffee turned into a 2-hour conversation. Then Marcus started timing his lunch breaks for when Emma was cleaning. Then he began leaving little notes with the payment, not instructions, but actual messages. Thanks for listening yesterday. Hope your week is going well. Em. Left some of those cookies you mentioned liking. Help yourself. Marcus. Running late this morning but wanted to say hi. You make Tuesdays and Fridays the best parts of my week. M. Emma found herself looking forward to their conversations more than anything else in her carefully constructed fake life. Marcus was funny, thoughtful, ambitious, but not ruthless. He asked about her life, her dreams, her fears. He saw her. The problem was he was seeing someone who didn't really exist. The first kiss happened on a rainy Friday in November. Emma was finishing up, and Marcus was working from home due to a power outage at his office. Emma, before you go, can I ask you something? Of course. Would you maybe want to have dinner with me sometime? Like, not here. Actually, go out. Emma's heart stopped. This was the moment she'd been dreaming of and dreading in equal measure. I'd love that, but... Marcus, I'm just your cleaning lady. Wouldn't that be weird for you? You're not just anything, Emma. You're smart, funny, beautiful, and you make me feel more like myself than anyone I've ever met. He stepped closer. I don't care what you do for work. I care about who you are. When he kissed her, Emma felt something she'd never experienced with any of the wealthy men who'd pursued her inheritance. Pure, uncomplicated joy. This is what real love feels like, she thought. She had no idea how wrong she was. For 2 months, Emma lived in 2 worlds. By day, she was Emma the cleaner, taking the bus to work, eating ramen for dinner, wearing clothes from Target. By night, she was secretly coordinating with her assistant to run her actual business empire from her tiny apartment. The cognitive dissonance was exhausting, but it was worth it for moments like these. Marcus surprising her with takeout from her favorite cheap Thai place, planning dates around her budget, holding her hand on the bus, treating her like she was precious not because of what she owned, but because of who she was. This is it, Emma thought. This is the man I'm going to marry. But cracks were starting to show. The first warning sign. So what's your family like? Marcus asked during dinner at a modest Italian restaurant. Emma had prepared for this question, but it still made her stomach clench. My dad he was in business, worked a lot. My mom died when I was young. What kind of business? Tech stuff, boring corporate things. And he's okay with you? Cleaning houses? The way Marcus said it made Emma's blood run cold. There was something in his tone, not disgust exactly, but confusion, judgment. What do you mean? I just mean, if he was successful in tech, wouldn't he have wanted more for you? College, career, that kind of thing? I went to college. Where? Another lie. State school. But I dropped out junior year when Dad got sick. And you never went back? Never wanted to do something more? Professional? There it was. The word that revealed everything. More. You think what I do isn't enough? Emma asked quietly. No, that's not what I meant. You're so smart, Emma. You could do anything, be anything. Doesn't it bother you that you're Cleaning toilets? Marcus's face flushed. I'm sorry, that came out wrong. But Emma had heard what she needed to hear. In Marcus's mind, there was a hierarchy of human worth, and she was near the bottom. The breaking point came when Marcus got promoted to senior vice president. His company was throwing a celebration party, and Emma was genuinely excited for him. I'm so proud of you, she said, kissing him as he straightened his tie. You've worked so hard for this. Thanks, I just wish... What? Nothing, it's stupid. Tell me. Marcus sighed. I wish I could bring you as my date, show you off, but all my colleagues will be there with their wives and girlfriends, and they're all, I don't know, what are they? Doctors, lawyers, other executives, Stanford MBAs, Yale law graduates, that crowd. Emma felt like she'd been slapped. And you're ashamed to be seen with me. It's not about shame, it's about fit. You wouldn't be comfortable with those people, Emma. They'd talk about things you wouldn't understand, make references you wouldn't get. I'm trying to protect you. Protect me from what? From feeling out of place. The patronizing tone was worse than outright cruelty. Marcus genuinely believed he was being kind by keeping her hidden away, like a dirty secret. So what am I supposed to be to you, Marcus? Your private girlfriend that you're embarrassed to acknowledge in public? That's not fair. Isn't it? When do I get to meet your friends, your family? When do I become real in your life? Marcus was quiet, and that silence told Emma everything she needed to know. She was good enough to sleep with, good enough to confide in, good enough to love in private, but not good enough to claim in public. The confrontation that would end everything happened 3 weeks later. Emma had been cleaning Marcus's apartment when his colleague James stopped by unexpectedly. She was in the kitchen washing dishes when she heard them talking in the living room. Nice place, man. You still have that cleaning service? Yeah, same girl comes twice a week. She's really great. Oh yeah, how great. James's tone was suggestive, and Emma felt her skin crawl. Not like that. Well, actually, we've been seeing each other. Dude, seriously? You're dating the help? Emma held her breath, waiting for Marcus to defend her, to shut down James's disgusting implication. Instead, Marcus laughed. Actually laughed. It's not serious. She's sweet, but obviously it's not going anywhere long term. I mean, what would I tell my parents? Hey, Mum and Dad, meet Emma. She cleans bathrooms for a living. Right. I mean, have fun, but don't get too attached. Girls like that, they're looking for a meal ticket, you know? Emma's not like that. She's actually really genuine. But you're right. It's just for now, until I find someone more appropriate. Emma stood frozen in the kitchen, dish soap dripping from her hands as the two men casually discussed her worth as a human being. She was a placeholder, a temporary diversion until Marcus found someone appropriate to actually build a life with. When James left, Emma confronted Marcus directly. Is that really what you think of me? A temporary convenience until you find someone better? Marcus had the decency to look ashamed. You weren't supposed to hear that. But you meant it. Emma, you have to understand my position. I'm building a career. I need a partner who can support that. Someone who can network with clients, host dinner parties, fit into my world. And you don't think I can do those things? Could you? The challenge in his voice was unmistakable. Could you hold a conversation with the CEO of a Fortune 500 company? Would you know which fork to use at a 7-course dinner? Could you represent me at charity galas and corporate events? Each question was a knife in Emma's heart, not because she couldn't answer them, but because Marcus was so certain she couldn't. You're right, Emma said quietly. I couldn't do any of those things. The lie tasted like poison in her mouth. That's when Emma made the decision that would change both their lives forever. Marcus, I need to tell you something. What? Emma pulled out her phone, not the cracked Android she'd been carrying for months, but her real phone, the latest iPhone Pro Max in pristine condition. What's that? Marcus asked, confused. Emma opened her banking app and handed him the phone. The number on the screen made his knees buckle. 47,892,156 and 43 cents. That's my checking account. Well, one of them. Marcus stared at the screen like it was written in a foreign language. What is this? I'm Emma Rodriguez, but not Emma Rodriguez, the house cleaner. I'm Emma Rodriguez, CEO of Rodriguez Tech Solutions. I inherited my father's company when he died 2 years ago. She pulled out her real wallet, Louis Vuitton worth more than Marcus made in a month, and laid her black American Express Centurion card on his coffee table. The Honda Civic. It's a rental. My real cars are a Ferrari 488 and a Tesla Model S Plaid, both parked in the garage of my penthouse in Pacific Heights. Marcus's mouth was hanging open. He kept looking at the phone, at the credit card, at Emma's face. The studio apartment in the Mission. Another rental. My real home is an 8,000 square foot penthouse worth $12 million. I don't understand. I wanted to see who you really were when you thought I had nothing, and you showed me exactly that. The desperate scramble. What happened next was even more pathetic than Emma had imagined. Marcus went into full panic mode. The transformation was so complete, so shameless, that Emma actually took a step back. "Emma, wait, wait!" he said, reaching for her hands. "You don't understand. I knew there was something special about you. I could tell you were different." "Different how?" "The way you carried yourself. Your intelligence, your sophistication. I always knew you were more than just a cleaner." The lies came pouring out. "I was actually planning to help you start your own business. I never cared about what my colleagues thought. I was just protecting you from people who might judge you." "James doesn't know what he's talking about. I've been telling everyone how amazing you are. I was going to propose next month." Each lie was more desperate than the last. Marcus was literally rewriting their entire relationship in real time, trying to gaslight Emma into believing the past 6 months hadn't happened. But the most shocking moment came when he got down on one knee. "Emma, I love you. I've always loved you. Your money doesn't change anything. I fell in love with you when I thought you had nothing." Emma stared down at him in disgust. "Get up, Marcus. Marry me. We can start over. I'll quit my job and work for your company. Get up. I'll sign a prenup. I don't want your money. I just want you." Emma felt something she'd never experienced before. Complete and utter contempt for another human being. "Marcus, stand up and listen to me very carefully." He scrambled to his feet, hope shining in his eyes. "You said I couldn't hold a conversation with a Fortune 500 CEO. I have lunch with 12 of them every month. They're on my board of directors." Marcus's face went pale. "You asked if I'd know which fork to use at a 7-course dinner. I've hosted 50 of them in my penthouse. The mayor came to the last one. Emma, You wondered if I could represent you at charity galas. I'm on the board of trustees for UCSF Children's Hospital, the San Francisco Symphony and the Museum of Modern Art. Last year I donated $2 million to build a new pediatric wing." Each revelation hit Marcus harder. "You thought I couldn't fit into your world, Marcus? The truth is you couldn't fit into mine." "But I could learn, You could what? Stop being the kind of person who judges human worth by job titles? Stop being ashamed of the woman you claim to love? Stop treating people like they're beneath you?" Marcus was crying now, actually crying. I'm so sorry, I was an idiot. Please give me another chance." "Marcus, do you know what the saddest part of this whole thing is?" He shook his head. "If you had just loved me, really loved me, for who you thought I was, I would have given you everything. Not my money, but my heart, my loyalty, my partnership in building something beautiful together. You still can. Nothing has to change. Everything has already changed, because now I know that your love was conditional. It was never about me. It was about what I could do for your image, your career, your status." Emma headed toward the door, then turned back. "Oh, and Marcus, I'm canceling the cleaning service. You'll need to find someone else to scrub your toilets, assuming you can find someone appropriate enough for your standards." Marcus's meltdown didn't end when Emma left. Within hours, he was blowing up her phone with increasingly desperate messages. "Emma, please call me back. We can work this out. I'm willing to do anything. Therapy, counseling, whatever you want. I love you, the real you. Money doesn't matter to me. Please don't throw away what we have over a misunderstanding. I was just scared of not being good enough for you." But Emma was done. She blocked his number and moved on with her life. Marcus, however, couldn't let it go. He started showing up at places he thought Emma might be. Coffee shops in the Mission, the fake apartment building. He even went to the cleaning service office, begging them for her real contact information. His desperation became public when he made the mistake of posting about it on LinkedIn. Sometimes we make mistakes that teach us who we really are. I let the love of my life slip away because I was too proud to see her worth. Emma, if you're reading this, please give me another chance. I know I don't deserve it, but I'm asking anyway. Second chances. Love, regret. The post went viral for all the wrong reasons. Emma's friends started sharing screenshots and filling in the context. The story of the millionaire CEO who pretended to be a house cleaner to find love, only to be rejected by a man who thought she wasn't good enough, spread across Silicon Valley like wildfire. Marcus became the poster child for shallow, status-obsessed men. His own colleagues started avoiding him. His company's HR department received complaints about his judgment and character. 6 months later, Marcus ran into Emma at a charity gala, the kind of event he'd once believed she couldn't attend. She was wearing a custom Valentino gown and talking animatedly with the mayor's wife about affordable housing initiatives. She looked radiant, confident, completely in her element. When she saw him, her smile faltered for just a moment. Then she excused herself from her conversation and walked over. "Marcus, I didn't expect to see you here." "Emma, you look beautiful." "Thank you." They stood in awkward silence for a moment. "I've been thinking about what you said," Marcus finally spoke. "About who I really am. You were right. I was shallow, status-obsessed, judgmental. I've been in therapy trying to work on myself." "That's good, Marcus. Everyone deserves to grow. I want you to know that I really did love you. Not your money. You. The woman who listened to me complain about work, who made me laugh, who saw the best in me even when I couldn't see it in myself." Emma studied his face. "I believe you think that's true." "It is true." "Then why did your love disappear the moment you thought I wasn't good enough for your colleagues? Why did you hide me away like something shameful?" Marcus was quiet for a long moment. "Because I was a coward. Because I cared more about what other people thought than about what was real." "And now?" "Now I know that the only opinion that matters is my own. And I think I was the luckiest man in the world, and I threw it away because I was too stupid to see it." Emma felt a flicker of the old connection, but it was overwhelmed by the memory of his betrayal. "I hope you find someone who helps you become the man you want to be, Marcus, but it won't be me." "I know." His voice was barely a whisper. I want you to be happy, Emma. You deserve everything beautiful in this world." "I am happy," Emma said, and she meant it. "I'm with someone who loves me exactly as I am, who's proud to be seen with me, whether I'm in a ball gown or covered in cleaning supplies." Marcus's face crumpled, but he managed to smile. "Good, that's good." As Emma walked away, Marcus called out one last time. "Emma?" She turned back. "For what it's worth, you were never just a cleaner to me. You were the woman who made me want to be better. I'm sorry I wasn't brave enough to let you." Emma smiled sadly. "Goodbye, Marcus." Emma's current boyfriend, David, was a public school teacher she'd met while volunteering at a literacy program. When she told him about her wealth on their third date, his response had been perfect. "That's cool. Can I still pay for dinner? I already made the reservation." He didn't care about her money because he was secure in his own worth. He introduced her to his friends as Emma, the woman I'm crazy about, not Emma, the cleaning lady, or Emma, the millionaire. Just Emma. "You know what I love most about you," David had told her recently. "What?" "You're the same person whether you're in a boardroom or volunteering at the shelter. You don't change based on who's watching." That's when Emma knew she'd found what she'd been searching for, someone who loved all of her, not just the convenient parts. This story isn't really about money or social status. It's about authentic love versus conditional acceptance. Marcus thought he loved Emma, but he loved an edited version of her, the parts that fit into his world and his image. When those parts threatened his social standing, his love evaporated. Real love doesn't disappear when circumstances change. It doesn't hide in shame or calculate social benefits. It sees the whole person and chooses them anyway. Emma's experiment revealed something profound. Most people don't fall in love with who you are. They fall in love with who they think you should be. The rare ones who love you as you actually are, those are the ones worth keeping. Marcus learned this lesson too late. But maybe his story can help someone else recognize real love when they find it, and have the courage to choose it over social expectations. Because in the end, the most valuable thing in life isn't what you can afford to buy. It's finding someone who can't afford to lose you. This story is based on true events shared by someone who learned that love isn't about finding someone impressive enough to show off. It's about finding someone brave enough to be real.